Hi, I'm Judd with Adrenaline Industries, and today we wanted to talk about our Mercedes Unimog U500. So here at Adrenaline, we have a 625-acre off-road ranch that we call Adrenaland Ranch. And there, the last 18 months, we've been building a big lodge for our guests, and we wanted to continue the construction through the winter. So we needed something to keep that road open, which is high up in the mountains. And so there's nothing better to remove some snow and to push that snow out of the way than this big Unimog U500. So we bought this just for that. Chained it up. We have a snow blower for it. We have a snow plow for it. And we were able to keep that road open. It also helped that we had like drywall semi trucks that needed to get up there in the middle of winter with the booms to be able to load the sheetrock through the windows and stuff. And there were numerous times that we had to pull those type of trucks, a semi truck, out of the ditch through the snow to get them up to the top of that lodge. And this thing is unbelievable. I've never been around a vehicle with this kind of torque and power and just pure mass to be able to handle, you know, the duties we put it through the last couple years up at that ranch. This thing's so impressive. I mean, it's massive. I'm 6'3", and I'm looking, you know, right at the door handle for this thing. It's just an impressive truck. So when I bought it, it was yellow. And I don't know what it is. Like, I grew up in the 80s, 90s. Yellow was cool. Lamborghini Countach. I mean, yellow was what you wanted. In the 90s, that Hummer H1 and yellow was the coolest truck. And so I thought yellow was so cool. But no, my sons give me all this grief about how ugly the yellow is. And it was. I mean, this is an old work truck for Park City. And so it kind of had that work truck look to it. So I wanted to spruce it up. We first wrapped it in flat black. And it just looked terrible. They didn't do a great job on the wrap. So of course, you know, spend the money again, pulled the wrap off, and did a decent paint job. I mean, it's a 20-year-old truck, so I didn't want everything pulled apart, didn't pull the cab apart and the dash out. That'd cost so much money, and pull the windows out. But it did a decent job, and I think it turned out really good with the matte black. I think it just kind of gives it this really kind of Darth Vader look. But anyway, yeah, I had to get rid of the yellow for my kids so they'd stop making fun of me. I think it turned out pretty good with this matte black. So this comes standard with these 46-inch tires. This one has Goodyear. They do great. They do great on icy roads. Also do great in the dirt. And another unique thing about these Unimogs, these Mercedes Unimogs, is they have portal axles. So the axle comes up above where the tire or where the hub is, and then there's a hub reduction or a gear reduction that comes down to the hub. And so you can drive over a 5-gallon bucket or more in this truck because the axle stays so high before it's reduced down into that hub. So it's awesome. They're super powerful. These Unimogs are always known just to be way overbuilt. I mean, everything in them, your tie rods, your drive line, everything is just way overbuilt compared to most trucks we see here in America. So here's your implement plate. There's just tons of different implements you can add to this. Like I said, we have a snow blower and a snow plow that goes with it. You have 8 different hydraulic ports here on the front. You also have your PTO up here on the nose also. Up here we got some auxiliary lights. This is where if you're running your plow, that your lights can actually shine over the top of the plow. Holds 60 gallons of diesel fuel. The bed on these are what I love probably the most. Is amazing how often you actually use a dump bed when you have it. And it's so cool because it can dump the way you pull the pins. So if I pull these 2 pins on this side, it's going to dump to the passenger side. If you pull the 2 front pins, it's going to dump backwards like most dump trucks. And of course, opposite, we pull the pins over there, we'll be able to drop it this way. It's really handy. This summer, we're out behind our shop dumping some gravel, and so it's kind of in a place where it just worked better to dump it sideways. It's really slick. So to open up the bed, it's pretty easy. Each corner just has these pulls. You pull down, and there you go. There's the flatbed. Inside the cab, the controls are probably similar to an airplane. So let's go in there and show you what all the controls do. So here in the door, we got a few cup holders. Your speakers are in the doors also. And then there's like this air ride seat that's got more adjustment than I know how to operate, but that's where they all are. This is your recline, decline. This is sets like your height, how much pressure you want in there, tilt forward and back, etc. And then it also slides forward and back. Okay, so here's your hydraulic controls. With the hydraulic controls, turn them on, you push this I button here. That activates them. If you want to double the flow, which is kind of nice, you hit the X. So if like you want to, if you don't have like a ton of weight in the back and you want to empty it faster, if you want to dump the bed faster, you can double that by hitting the X. Up into here, so like your dump bed is on the 5/6 control. You pull it towards you here to raise the bed, the other way to dump it. And then if you're running, like, depending on where you plug in your circuits, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Usually that's where you're running your plow. So then you turn those on if you're running your plow to be able to turn left, right, up and down on your plow. So back here, we had added a diesel-fired coolant heating system. So even though like numerous times it was way below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, this thing would still, with the glow plug cycling, it would still fire right up. If it was like stupid cold, we were just worried, you know, we weren't sure how well it would start, so we had that added. And so here you just hit that red button there, probably, you know, anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes to give it to really heat up that coolant. You know, then your engine is already at temperature, working temperature when you fire it up. Here you've got your park brake. This would be your trailer brake. Here's your headlights. To switch those on and off. This is your electric mirrors, you know, left, right, then your different controllers here. So up here there's probably more controllers than I'll remember what to do, but this is your shifting lever. So the right side here puts it in neutral. Left side is what you, once it's in neutral, you use that for reverse to go back. It has a cool feature that you can pick the gear, so first, second, third, whatever it is, and then you can use this toggle here, like when you're snow plowing a parking lot and you're going forward and reverse, so you're not having to work through all your gears, because this is a manual transmission. You're able to use push the clutch in and then hit that toggle here below. You go forward, and then you want to go reverse, hit it reverse, it will go from like second gear forward to second gear reverse. It's awesome. You have, you know, all these reverse gears as well that you can shift through. And then going into here, you've got, right now you're in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, rear locker, front locker. So all four tires can be locked up. This is your idle, like if you want a high idle, so you flip that on and then you pull back here, and this will, you can set the idle, basically you look at your RPMs and see what that is. This is what you use. You hit this button when you want to activate that ability to stay like in third gear and to be able to go forward and backwards without having to go into neutral first. So that's the button you hit there. Here's, this one came equipped with the super crawler or the Snell gears. So your rabbit is your high gears, donkey's your working gears, and then you've got your crawler gears, which, so it's got a 3-speed transfer case. This is so low, and it's I think the main purpose of that is, like you say, you had the snow blower on and you're trying to open up a road in the spring and you've got, you know, 3-4 foot snow drifts you're going through. You would bog down that auger if you're going too fast. And so you can set that and just, you know, in first gear you can barely see the tire turning, even under high RPMs. So you have crazy amount of gears in this truck for any application you have. You got some of your strobe lights, emergency lights. These are both here, are both your windows, driver and passenger side. Rolls up and down. You got options to turn your ABS and things off, like if you're off-road and they're bugging you, you're trying to climb something, or you know, you want that off, you're able to turn that off. Here's your, to be able to switch from your lower headlights to your upper headlights, more emergency beacons, your hazard lights. These are your heated mirrors. And another great feature is this also has heated windshield. So there's little wires that you can barely see in this windshield. So you have no problem. You're never ever gonna, you know, frost up on this window just by hitting that heated windshield on. It works really good. You have your standard, you know, HVAC controllers here with your 3-speed fan, switching from the floor to defrost. These are some fresh air. And then we also had an air conditioner added back here. So this is an auxiliary one that's activated by turning the AC button on down here at the bottom of this panel. And these, you know, these are built for Germany and stuff like that. They don't get near as hot as we do here. And so the air conditioning, if it's over about maybe 85 or 90 degrees, the factory air conditioning system isn't enough. And so we had Terry Lee Enterprises, the Unimog U500 specialist, add that auxiliary air conditioner. So now, even if it's 100 degrees outside, you still can cool this cab down as cold as you want it to be. So pretty simple dash. You know, obviously your temperature, we just started this, that's why it's cool right now. Fuel gauge, miles per hour, kilometers. Here's, it's got 69,144 miles on it right now. Time of day, This shows, you know, right now that we're in two-wheel drive. If I click this, you'll see just a little button light up. So that's saying that I'm now in four-wheel drive as it locked the center diff. Here at the bottom axle, that little bulb in the diff lights up. That's, you know, for a rear locker. And then now the front locker lit up when I turned that on. Here's your front and rear air pressures sitting there, and then of course your RPMs. Over here on this left side, you've got, you know, your wipers. So I'll show those working here on the front window. You also have cruise control. So another cool feature with this more modern Unimog is it's got cruise control that's activated on this joystick over here. Okay, so right now I activated the turtle, so the lowest gears. I put it in first gear, and we'll go outside and see if this thing's even turning. So you probably couldn't do this in most vehicles, but I'm in the turtle gearing, the lowest gearing in first gear. And if you look really carefully, you can see that tire turning. So if for any reason you got stuck, maybe you just get out, put it in that gear, get out, make yourself a sandwich and watch it crawl itself out of the hole. Pretty hard to see here, but that tire is barely moving. And I'll even idle it up as fast as, you know, up near red line to show even at high idle how slow it goes. Okay, there's 2200 RPMs. Now we're really cruising. We're going 2500 RPMs, and we are just making some massive progress now. Isn't that cool? The gearing on Unimogs is the coolest thing about them. They're so, well, portal axles, I don't know. There's so many cool things. I don't know which one's the best. So now just to demonstrate, I'm going to put it in the donkey gears, so the normal low gears, to show you what first gear's like in that. So, you know, now it's definitely that much faster again, but still, it's pretty rare you would ever need to go into the turtle gears, to the crawler gears. Even your working gears like this are super low. So that's first gear of the working gears. So here's a little size comparison. So this is our G550 with a 2-inch lift and 33-inch tires. So it's bigger, you know, it's a little bigger presence than a normal G-Wagon. And look how small it looks compared to that monster. So yeah, this would be a little brother compared to big brother, or maybe that's grandpa. Unimog might be the grandpa of the family. Hope you enjoyed the video, learn a little bit more about the U500s. Just an absolute beast.